This is how your website looks like without styling. Just text, and maybe you have images and video, and that's it. And with that, it means you just have a bland website. And that's why CSS, or cascading style sheet, is very important in how you style your document so that it is very appealing, and also with the layout. Maybe you want this image to be this side, or you want this text to come around it. You want maybe to have a background color, or you want this text to display in a certain way. So all that is possible because of CSS. Now with CSS, to understand it very well, you need to understand a box model. So this is the box model. So every element, it's like a box. When you have a headline such as this, it's a box. So it's surrounded by 4 sides. When you have paragraphs, when you have links, or you have a span, they are surrounded by 4 sides because they are represented in form of a box. If you understand the box model, then it will be much easier to understand how to apply certain styles to your HTML document. Okay, and so with the box model, you have the actual content. Okay, and then that actual content is surrounded by padding, like that. You have padding, and then you have border, you have margin. And so with all these various properties, they have 4 sides. So like you have margin top, then you have margin right, then you have margin bottom, and you have margin left. The same thing applies to border and padding. And then with your content, you have the content width. This is the width from here to here. Then you have the content height. And so when we talk about content, they are always displayed in various formats. So you have inline content. So with inline content, let me just do an example here. So if I write, let's say I write here span, and I just write me like that. Okay, so with inline, if I come down here and I write another span, and I write you like that, and I come down here, I'm going to write a link. Okay, so I'm going to put a link. Like that. Okay, so if I check here, you realize even though here it shows each is on its line, when you look the way it displays here, they are all on the same line. So these are usually inline elements, and so they display in the same line, and so they will go that way until at the end, because each element, it doesn't occupy the entire space or the entire width. So that's the opposite to the block elements. So block elements such as let's say paragraph. So a paragraph, even if I just come here and I write another paragraph here, you will see, just do another paragraph. So you'll see they will just be displayed separately. So you can see I have this one here, and then I have this one here. So these are block level elements. So even if I come up with another paragraph, it will go to the next line, because for block level elements, they occupy the entire width. So they occupy the entire width, and also they occupy the height in which they have at that given moment. So they go with the content. So if you have a lot of content, the height will be higher or taller. If you have little content, then the height won't be that high. Okay, but it occupies the entire width of the given element. Okay, yeah. So that's that about the box model. And once you understand that, it will be easier to know what content are you styling. Are you styling a headline? Okay, and so what do you want to do with that headline? So you know how to style it. Are you styling a paragraph? Are you styling an image? Are you styling a table? Are you styling the navigation links, which are usually in the form of unordered lists? Okay, and so once you understand each item is a box on its own, it's much easier to do the styling. Now with styling, there are usually 3 different types. So the first one is inline styling. Okay, so the inline styling is if I want to style this H1. So I'll just come here and I'll first write style like that, and then the equal sign, and then the 2 the quotation marks, and so I can apply. Let's say I want to have a background color. Okay, oops. So I want to have a background color. Let's say I can just choose a background color of maybe black, and then I want the text color to be let's say white. So if I save this work and I check, you can see now it has applied to the headline. It has a background of black, and then it has the color of the text as white. Okay, so you can realize that I only apply to H1 element. Okay, and so that's with inline styling. However, it is not advised to use inline styling because it is more specific, and with that it gives you more problems in future if you want to do some editing to your work. And also that means you have to go to each specific element and apply the styling that you want, which will be hard to reuse a given styling. Okay, so the other styling that we have, it's called embed styling or internal. So with that, you go to the head, where you have the head. Okay, and it starts with style like that. So you have the style opening, style closing. Okay, so now when you are writing that, you use the structure for the CSS. Now the CSS has different structure. So you have you select an element or you select a class. So we have selectors, and then after selectors you have the property. After the property you have the value now. Okay, so let's say you want to style the navigation links. Okay, so you want to style your navigation, so you come in here and you select. So maybe I want to style the navigation, so I'll do nav. So that's the selector now. Okay, and then after the selector you have the braces. So you have selector, braces, and then the property here. So I can do a background color. Okay, and let's do blue violet like that. So that with that, my navigation, you can see they have a background color. Okay, maybe I want this, okay, these links to not have the underline and also to have a different color. So I'll come still within the nav, because that's my selector. I'll come down here. Okay, so I can do that there, and I'm going to show something about specificity. So I'm going to do color. Okay, and I'll just do a red. So if I apply you realize the text itself, the color hasn't changed. It's only these bullets that they have changed, and that's because each element, they have their own color. Okay, so they have a default color. So like if I go to the developers tool, you can see I have the box model here. Okay, and if I select an element, let's select an element that I haven't applied anything on it. So this one here, you can see the display is block, and it has already a margin, height, and all those sort of styling. And you can see down here more, and so all these, they're the default styling. Okay, so the default color for the links is blue. So if I want to be more specific, to override that color, because you can see here I have nav, and then I have an order list, then I have the list item, and then I have now the links. So you can see these links, they are very far away from this nav, and so their own default color, it will be more specific as compared to the color applied here. Okay, and so in order to be more specific to this, I have to select it, and to do that I'll come outside, and then I'm going to select the link like that, and then I can do color. Let's say I can write red. So with that, you'll see the color has changed, and also for the other links, because I only selected the links. Okay, and then the other type of styling is the external styling. So the external, you have a different file, and so that file, you come here within the head, and that's why you're going to link it. Okay, so this is how you link it. You do link rel, then style sheet, then you provide the source, and so whichever name you give, maybe example.css. Okay, and so with that, even if it is external file, it will be able to be applied here. You could as well use bootstrap styling and all that to style. Okay, but you have to link it within the head. Okay, so those are the three types of styling that we have. Okay, so I would like you to practice on different styling of your work that you have so far, and let me know if you have any questions.